Hello everyone, this is Tim from Arcana. In today's MEVO White Belt training video, we're going to be covering templates. Now, from your MEVO homepage, if you go to Configuration Templates, you can view all the templates in your MEVO environment. Let me orient you a little bit. First off, all templates can either be considered active or inactive. If I uncheck my Show Active button, I can see all the different templates that are associated with this specific device type. In this case, this is my Cisco 1111 8-port. Now, the difference between an active template and an inactive template are active templates are used whenever we provision the device. So if I were to go to my groups page and I were to create a new account and submit a provisioning request for it, and I can go ahead and show you if I go to View Configuration. This config, which is pushed to my device, is essentially the sum of my parts from the template page. So it is the base config, plus the DMVPN config, plus the firewall config, so on and so forth. If, say, I had an existing router out in the field that was already deployed, I could update it also using a template. To do that, I would do More Actions, Add a Template, fill out these details. Let's say, for example, I just want to update its hostname, so my new hostname. So I could save this template. Then on my devices page, I could find my device, select it, run More Actions, Operation, Apply Templates, and that would push the configuration update to that device. Sorry if I'm going a little bit fast. We have videos that cover this. I'm just here to give you a high-level overview of the things you would need to know to pass the White Belt exam. So that are templates. That is the difference between an active template and an inactive template. So if you were to, let's say, edit an active template, or you were to add a new template and mark it as active, that doesn't automatically do anything to the device. If you want to update the device, you must already have it online and push the template to it, or you would have to go to the groups page and you would have to create a new account or resubmit that provisioning request in order to update the configuration that will be pushed to the device when you provision it. So that is active versus inactive. As far as what templates are, we can take a look at one of them. And a template is essentially just CLI configuration. So anything that you know how to configure on a device, we can turn that into a template. Now, what we can do even more powerfully with that ability is we can use variables. So if you need to, say, configure a lot of different DMVPN spoke routers where each one needs to have its own IP address for the tunnel IP, well, what if we take that IP address and turn that into a variable? And what if MEVO had a built-in IPAM and built-in IP address management that could automatically allocate that IP address every time we provision a new site? So these are some of the examples that you can use when we leverage templates with variables in a clever way. Now, being able to populate variables isn't the only thing that we can do with templates. We also have different operators that can run. For example, if we look at my IKV2 profile here, at lines 23 and 25, I have an if statement. So what I can also do with my templates is I can put in little bits of logic which would allow me to create what I'm going to call a universal template. So this one template, this one DMVPN template, because I've used my variables and my operators in a clever way, I can essentially push this to any single iOS XE device that I want to deploy as a spoke router. Assuming all of them use the same type of CLI configuration, this one template would work for all of them. As you can see, if I look at my 1111, I have my DMVPN template marked as universal. So if I were to, let's say, look at an older 800 series router, this configuration is the same exact one. So I can just create one template, and if I do it in a clever way, that one template can be used for all of my devices. It's quite a very effective and elegant way to manage the different configurations that might appear across all of your different devices. Now, obviously, not all configuration can be the same. For example, the Mobility Express module between the 800 series devices and 1000 series devices are different. So in this case, my wireless config is specific to just the 881Ws. This is what it looks like for the 881s. And if I go over to my 1100s, and if I look for my wireless configuration here, you'll notice it is quite a bit different. So by choosing different device types and using those if statements, we're able to use these templates to craft a site exactly how you need it to perform. It is an intent-based solution. One final note about templates that I would like to make is when you are choosing your templates for provisioning, you can also set a priority. The way the priority works is the priority is essentially a queue. So essentially, because the base configuration has a priority of 0, when I go to provision my router, the base configuration will always appear at the top. This can be useful in case you have configuration that is reliant on something else to be present, because otherwise the configuration would fail if you tried to apply it first. If you have any questions, let us know.